Hello and welcome. Today we are diving deep into a theory that tries to answer not one, not two, but three of the biggest questions in all of science. We're talking about dark matter, dark energy, and consciousness itself. And the proposed answer isn't some new, undiscovered particle, it's a completely new way of looking at empty space.
You know, modern physics has some huge, glaring holes in it. First on the list, what in the world is dark matter? We can see its gravity holding entire galaxies together, preventing them from flying apart. But we can't see it, we can't touch it, we can't detect it at all. It's like the biggest ghost in the entire cosmic machine.
And then you've got its equally bizarre cousin, dark energy. This is some kind of mysterious force that's not just expanding the universe, it's making that expansion speed up. Now get this, when you put dark matter and dark energy together, they make up about 95% of the entire cosmos. That means everything you've ever seen, everything we've ever studied, is just a tiny 5% sliver of what's actually out there.
And the third great mystery, well, it isn't out in deep space. It's right here, inside our own heads. What is consciousness? I mean, how does a lump of wet biological matter, our brain, create the feeling of being you? Physics has absolutely no clue. But what if a single, elegant theory could tie all three of these massive puzzles together?
Okay, so the theory we're exploring today is called Vethacerium, and it has a pretty bold claim. It says the answer to all these questions isn't some exotic particle we need to find in a collider. The answer has been staring us in the face the whole time. It's space itself. So here's the absolute core of the idea. Vethacerium says that empty space isn't empty at all. It's not a vacuum, it's a plenum, which is just a fancy word for something that is absolutely full. This absolute space is the one single primordial soup from which everything, and I mean everything, comes from.
And this primordial space isn't just sitting there. It has four built-in properties, kind of like a cosmic DNA. First, it's a plenum, meaning it's the source of all potential energy. Second, it has an inherent force, a constant, self-compressing pressure that is the true origin of gravity. Third, it has consciousness. Now this doesn't mean it's thinking. It means it has an order of function, a built-in blueprint for all the laws of physics. And finally, it contains time, which is described as a fundamental vibration, or a quivering of space itself.
All right, now prepare to have your mind bent a little, because this is where the theory really throws a wrench in what we've been taught. Forget everything you know about gravity being a pull. This model says gravity doesn't pull, it pushes.
For hundreds of years, our model has been super simple. Big objects pull smaller objects toward them, right? The Vethacerium model just flips that completely on its head. It says gravity is not a pull, it's a universal push. It's space itself, constantly squeezing inward on everything from all directions at once. So how does a push make things come together? Well, picture two bowling balls floating in a giant swimming pool. The water is pushing on them from every direction. But in the space between the two balls, they kind of shield each other, creating a little zone of lower pressure. So the higher pressure on their outer sides literally shoves them together. This theory says that's what's happening in the universe. Everything is being pushed together by the immense pressure of space. This constant self-compression makes space a kind of engine for creation. So first, this immense pressure causes space itself to vibrate. Eventually, that pressure gets so intense that it literally crushes tiny little bits of space into infinitesimal spinning particles. These are called vethons, or formative dust, the absolute smallest building blocks of reality. As these tiny vethons start clumping together, they form everything we know and see, what the theory calls the Panchabhutas, or the five elements. First energy, then air, fire, water, and finally solid matter. Okay, so we've got this wild idea of a pushing gravity and spinning cosmic dust. Let's circle back to our original problem. How on earth does this explain those huge cosmic mysteries, dark matter and dark energy? Remember this number, 95%. That's the amount of the universe we just can't seem to account for. This theory claims the solution isn't dark at all. It's been right there the whole time.
In this model, the cosmic pie gets sliced up very differently. Dark matter is no longer some mysterious invisible particle. It's just the constant, massive, compressive force of absolute space itself. That's the gravity holding galaxies together.
And dark energy? That's the collective outward repulsive force from every single spinning particle, atom, and planet in the universe, pushing everything apart. Suddenly, the 95% mystery is solved, not by adding anything new, but just by redefining the space in between.
So we've dealt with the universe at its largest scale. But what about that final, most personal puzzle of all? What about consciousness? Well, the Phaedarium argues that it, too, is a fundamental property of space.
And here's the real kicker. Consciousness isn't something your brain creates out of nothing. It's more like your brain is a highly advanced antenna, tuning into a property that's already woven into the fabric of the universe, that order of function we talked about. You can think of it like the universe's own operating system, and it's present in the perfect pattern of a snowflake just as much as it is in the orbit of a planet.
The founder of the theory, Vethathiri Maharishi, put it like this. He said the consciousness of a knife is its function, to cut. The consciousness of a chemical is its function, to react in a certain way. It's the universe expressing its own flawless built-in logic through everything that exists.
Now, in living things, this basic order of function evolves into what we call perception. It starts simple, with one sense, touch. Then it climbs a ladder, adding taste, then smell, sight, and hearing. But the very last step, which is said to be unique to humans, is the sixth sense, introspection. And that's the incredible moment when the universe's consciousness, working through us, finally becomes aware of itself.
So, in the end, this theory asks us to make a pretty profound shift in how we see reality. It suggests that the vast, empty space that seems to separate everything isn't a void at all. It's the fundamental, conscious, living substance that connects everything. So I'll leave you with this question. What if the empty space right there, next to you, isn't empty, but is actually the absolute fullness of the cosmos looking back at you? Now that is a cosmic blueprint worth thinking about.